What's up, people? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we have breaking news in Texas, where the new legislative map for the 2026 cycle has been revealed, and it has further grown the Republican gerrymander in the state, netting them multiple seats. And although the House looked like it was going to be super Democratic and Democrats were going to flip it super easily at first, this might complicate things just a little bit. So today I'm going to be going through this, seeing what changes they made, how it affects the map, and how it affects Democrats' pathway to 218 seats, and some other Democratic states that might try and gerrymander their states a bit further to try and combat this and level out the playing field. So 5 seats have been changed. So first off, we have Texas's 9th. This is in Houston, right around here. And it went from a Harris plus 20 seat to Trump plus 15. And I think Democrats are locked out of this seat if this map goes through, just because, hi guys, editing Sammy here. I went on like a 2-minute ramble about how like Texas trends and blah, 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 blah. When I realized I could just like explain this in a much easier way. So basically, in areas like the Rio Grande Valley, they're more Republican at the top of the ballot because they've shifted Republican sooner. So there's more like down ballot lag, where, you know, down ballot, like for congressmen, they're bluer. Whereas in an area like around like the city or in more rural areas, they have less down ballot lag because they've been solidly Republican or solidly Democratic. So there's just less down ballot lag, meaning that in an area like a city like Texas's 9th, it's just harder for Democrats to try and contest a Trump seat, in contrast to like a Rio Grande Valley seat where it's much easier because they're more blue down ballot. Texas is 34th. This one's in Dallas. And Dallas is an area where I wasn't really expecting Republicans to try and draw this out, because it's hard to squeeze out a seat from Dallas. It's harder than, for example, say Austin or Houston. But they did manage to do it, creating a Trump plus 16 seat. And much like what we saw in Houston, I don't really think Democrats can try and contest this that much, just because it's not in a more down ballot blue area like the Rio Grande Valley. Whereas here, it's more Republican down ballot, so Democrats are kind of screwed. Now for Texas 35th, this one is one that kind of connected San Antonio to Austin. It was Greg Cesar's district here, and it was Harris plus 34, and it's now Trump plus 10. And since it's not that red in like a massive blue wave, it could go blue, but I really doubt it, especially with what my 2026 prediction is looking like, which is around like D plus 4 to 5. I can't really see this being too competitive. Now, the 2 areas where this Republican map could seriously be contested by Democrats are the 2 Rio Grande Valley seats in Texas's 28th and Texas's 34th, more so in Texas's 28th. So first off, with Texas 34th, Vicente Gonzalez was in a Trump plus 4 seat. Now it's Trump plus 10, and he only won by, I believe, a lean margin in 2024. So it's going to be hard for him to really hold on. So right now, I think he'd be the underdog with this current map, but I still think he could hold on, especially in a bluer year, but I don't really see it. I think he would be the underdog. Now for Texas's 28th, this one's very different, because while it is 3 points more to Trump than it was before, I've seen some people even say that just like area by area, it's more positive for Cuellar than what we've seen before. And he won by more than 3. So shifting the seat by 3 to Republicans isn't enough to knock him out. So I really think he's in strong contention of this seat. So although it is a Republican gerrymander and they're trying to draw him out, I don't think they succeeded with their goal with Cuellar. So honestly, I think Republicans do net 4 seats, but it's kind of a dummy mander in the way that they aren't taking out Cuellar. Now, I do think long term, say in like 2028, I do think they will probably take out Cuellar. But in a cycle where Trump's not on the ballot, where he's going against a pretty bad candidate in Mayra Flores, she might not be the nominee, but she also could be. I think he'll be fine. It's looking like a bluer year. Trump's not on the ballot. And I think Hispanic shifts aren't going to be as strong to Republicans in 2026. So I think he's got a very strong chance of surviving. So how does this play out in the actual House map and the race to 218 seats? Now, here we have the current House map. This is what the current Congress looks like if all the seats were to be filled. Now, if we were to account for redraws, Democrats are probably going to gain a seat in Utah. Republicans are probably going to gain 2 seats in Ohio. Now, this is what like a baseline without the Texas redraw 2026 would look like. So Republicans net 1 seat from mid-decade redistricting. So if you wanted me to find you a like nice Democratic pathway, you've got a really easy flip in Nebraska 2nd. Same with Marionette Miller Meeks, Derek Van Orden, Scott Perry, and you're already at 218 seats. With those super easy flips, not really too easy with like Derek Van Orden, but still, it is a very easy win. Now, if you were to account for the Texas redraw, then I don't think Vicente Gonzalez holds on. Same for this district here, this too. These get drawn out, not that. I don't. Okay. And then same for this district. That puts Republicans at 221 seats. So Democrats have to flip 4 more seats. So where are they going to find those? Some more decently easy flips are like Ryan McKenzie's seat here in Pennsylvania. You could also take out Tom Barrett in Michigan. Maybe you've got Juan Ciscomani in Arizona. But this also accounts for Cuellar holding on, which isn't really guaranteed. In fact, with this redraw, he might just not run for re-election. But even with all of that, you're still 1 seat away. Now, I think they could get that in a few places. Probably Virginia's second. And if I'm actually thinking about this, I'd probably replace Tom Barrett with Gabe Evans losing. So this is what I think the best Democratic pathway would be to 218 with this new map, which isn't that hard. And I think people trying to spin this as, oh, Republicans are now the favorites in the House, or like the House is safe for them. Like they don't even have to contest toss-up seats to win the chamber. That's completely wrong, especially if Democrats get their redraw in Utah, which it's looking like it's going to happen. You've got an easy pickup in Arizona, decently easy pickup in Colorado, super easy in Nebraska, super easy in Iowa, 1 super easy in Pennsylvania, 1 decently easy in the same state, 1 decently easy in Virginia, and then another that's like pretty easy in Wisconsin. And that is enough to get you to 218 seats, even with Republicans picking up 4 seats in Texas. So I don't think it's like that hard for Republicans to hold on to the chamber, with them netting 4 more seats from this redraw, possibly 5 if Cuellar doesn't run for re-election or like something else happens with him. But I still think that Democrats are still in a very strong position for the House. I wouldn't rate it as safe D anymore, probably like likely D, because those 4 seats are 4 very big gains for Republicans that they needed to make up the gap. But I still think Democrats have the very strong edge here, and I think they're still the favorites for 2026. Now, for Democrats possibly trying to account for this and make up for it in their own states with their own redraws, you could look in a few places. New York, Kathy Hochul said she wouldn't stand for it, and she might try and redraw the state and gain a few more seats. I'm not sure the process for that, and if she could do that. But if she did, you could probably draw out a seat here, seat there, and you've got a pretty easy gerrymander for Democrats. New York's already a pretty favorable map for Democrats, but they could squeeze out a few more seats. I don't know about a Lisa Stefanik seat, but you could squeeze out 1 or 2. Democrats could also try something in like Maryland, but even then, you can only really get out 1 more seat. Same goes for a state like Oregon, where you can only really get 1 more seat. Washington, I don't really see it. The main state where they could try and make up for this is the state of California, where it is a blue-leaning map, but it is still made by an independent commission, so it's not that bad, as I wouldn't consider it like that big of a gerrymander, and Democrats could still get way more seats from this. They could flip this, and even this. They could make it a 50-2 map if they really wanted to. The issue is the legality of it, because they are mandated to have an independent commission make these maps. So I don't really see how they could do it, aside from making the argument that maybe like they're mandated to have a commission for after the census, but in a mid-decade redistricting cycle, you maybe don't have to have one. I have also heard that maybe you need a referendum, something like that. So I don't think it gets done by 2026, since you've got to do all that. But since it looks like the Republicans are going to do their moves in Texas already, I think Democrats could try, and I think they could succeed. Since, Republicans are trying this so early, Democrats do have some time in California to try and get their plans in order and try and change the map. But I don't really think that's super likely just yet. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you think California Democrats should try and combat this. Let me know if, there's something I missed in like New York or California with how states do their maps. Let me know if there's some like different stuff in Texas where maybe I missed how competitive a seat might be under this new map. Just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And you'll be married in a year in the suburbs with a kid on the way in 3.
convincing yourself to live in the American dream. And I'll be out in California. Okay, I'll stop.